my gorgeous Cancerians. It is lovely to be with you guys. I hope you guys are well. This is Debs, and this is your reading for August 2026. Cancer. Very interesting energies that came through. I saw someone fiddling around in what looked like Goodwill. It could have been a charity shop. They thought, well, I'm going to buy a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and I don't really know what I'm going to do with that, but it's quite pretty, so I'm just going to buy it. And then they got home and they wandered up to their bedroom and they thought, okay, it's a bit bland. It needs something else. Then they went back downstairs again and they rootled through all of this stuff that they'd bought from this shop. Curtain fabric, there was an old dress. And they thought to themselves, I can put two and two together. I can do this. I can create a patchwork quilt, which is not only going to add colour to the room, but it's going to provide me with a sense of comfort. And I'm going to be able to do it for next to nothing. So Cancer, this could be a reading about you. What I want to say is doing a patch-up job rather than a patchwork job, a patch-up job. And you're going to be very surprised at the result. What you may be realizing, Cancer, is you're going to be able to create something that'll last out of next to nothing. That's the energy coming through. A little bit from here, a little bit from there. Put it all together, and I've actually got something quite wonderful. So guys, whatever this is for you, we'll dive in. This is the Tarot of Mystical Moments. If you guys want a private reading, I'm still taking 50% off all of my readings, okay? The options and the prices are down below together with my website. If you want to join the channel, the link is there too. And of course, I list all the decks. I'm still seeing somebody sewing this patchwork quilt. They're actually doing it by hand. I'm hearing so it's nice and secure. I'm doing it by hand so it's nice and secure. Okay, all right. Here we go, guys. So Archangel Michael, thank you for joining us. This is the reading for my lovely Cancerians, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, masculine or feminine. What do we have for Cancer, please, for August 2026? I'm hearing this person say in their head, if I have anything left, I'll save it for a rainy day. Okay. Alrighty. Cancer. 5 of Pentacles. Yes. Cancer, you are deciding to create something because you might have wanted comfort. You might have wanted something extra. An extra blanket, maybe of protection. It could be financial. You've got the structure. You've got the structure, right? This woman's wearing this hoop, but there's no fabric over it. This is what you're creating. You're creating an external cover to help keep out the cold as an extra layer of protection, whatever that means for you. Crossing that, Cancer, is, yes, the Page of Pentacles. You're sitting in a beginner's mind. This is you getting inspired. You're getting inspired. I could do this with this. I could do that with that. You're taking little bits from lots of different areas, or you're taking different things and putting it all in a melting pot and creating something new, something that is going to help you, something that is going to last. In the past, 7 of Swords. I feel, Cancer, with the Seven of Swords, you might have had to deal with someone who wasn't honest with you, somebody who might have taken away your sense of security, stability, feeling nervous. After that time, with the energy of the Devil, I think you were obsessed about how to regain your footing, how to make yourself feel comfortable again, how to create that extra layer of protection when you didn't have much left. In your thoughts now is the Five of Wands. Yeah. Cancer, you might have felt as if you were playing a silent game of chess, having to move very carefully, slowly around obstacles, or be incredibly diplomatic with other people. There might almost have been a sense of, I don't know who I can trust here, so I'm just going to step very carefully around people in my environment, whilst trying to figure out a way of creating this, I'm hearing again, extra layer of protection. In the immediate future, Cancer, the Queen of Pentacles. Now, you could be a Queen of Pentacles, okay? You could be deciding to pull what you have together, Cancer, and keep it nice and safe. This could even be financial, okay? Or Cancer, you might be thinking about a Queen of Pentacles. In your fears, the Ten of Pentacles. Gosh, that's a very strange positioning for your fears. Are you fearing, Cancer, that if you continue to sit on the majority of what you have, it's not going to work for you? Or you may be fearing dipping into the Ten of Pentacles, so you may be decided to create something from little bits on the periphery instead, keeping the whole a whole, okay, whatever that means. Not wanting to break into, to dissect something you've already got, something you've already built, but taking a little bit from around the edges and pulling that together to create something new, something that was going to last, something extra. In the environment, Cancer, is the Moon. Somebody's thinking of you. For me, your energy is the Moon. This is someone sat in a bit of fear because they believe you're hiding something, Cancer. They believe that you are doing something behind the scenes that they're not going to like. Okay? In your hopes, guys, is the Emperor. So, Cancer, you are hoping to take charge. You're also hoping for some of you to fake it until you make it, Cancer. Pretend everything is absolutely fine whilst, pedaling madly underneath the surface. Rather like a swan, And the outcome, Cancer, is... didn't expect that. Ten of Swords. Okay. But very interesting. Because what we have here are various people, I'm hearing, wanting a piece of the pie, taking apart what you have carefully sewn together, taking apart a patchwork quilt, each person wanting a piece. No, we should pull this apart, we should dissect this. And this is you thinking, oh no, that's not what I wanted to happen. Okay. Interesting, guys. So, clarification for you, the King of Cups. So, Cancer, you're coming through as a masculine King of Cups Emperor. Okay. And the High Priestess. Cancer, you may be connected to somebody who is highly intuitive here. Could be a Pisces. Whoever this person is watching from behind the scenes. They may know what you're up to. They may know what you're trying to achieve. They're not saying anything, Cancer, but they feel as if you're trying to manifest something whilst keeping something else tightly locked away. You're trying to create a beautiful patchwork quilt out of next to nothing, whilst keeping hold of the whole, keeping hold of something else that is represented by the Ten of Pentacles. They're watching you do this. It may unnerve you, Cancer. They may feel, Cancer, you're doing this because you want to keep hold of a secret, maybe a secret plan. Whoever this High Priestess is, interesting, is sitting thinking about the whole, watching you trying to manifest new with these seeds. So this High Priestess sees you sitting on a whole, sitting on the very large pie, the Ten of Pentacles, whilst trying to fiddle around with planting new seeds, trying to create something out of nothing. And they're a little bit confused. What is Cancer trying to do here? They also feel, Cancer, that you've apologized for something, but it might be to cover something else up, or it might be that you didn't really mean it. You didn't really mean to apologize. You didn't feel as if you had to apologize. So, Cancer, this has taken a little bit of a turn. Okay. Underneath the deck, we have the Lovers. All right. And we have the Two of Cups. So, Cancer, what we have here, King of Swords under that, is you trying to create a plan to come out of feeling left out in the cold by stitching together bits and pieces from the periphery of the Ten of Pentacles to create extra protection, to make someone happy in the environment, while sitting on the whole, while sitting on the Ten of Pentacles, keeping the Ten of Pentacles whole. There could be something here about children, okay? We've got two pages here, Page of Pentacles, Page of Cups. I think, Cancer, whoever the High Priestess is recognizing that you're trying to move a few things around in order to create a sense of peace and calm, so that there are no more arguments, no more disagreements, there's no tension, because somehow you're wanting to keep the Ten of Pentacles whole. And it may have something to do also with a Queen of Pentacles. So you're coming through as the Emperor, King of Pentacles, and we have a Queen of Pentacles, and we have a High Priestess. Could be a family situation, could be a rather complicated dynamic. But let's get into this and see what comes through. So, Archangel, I'm sorry, I'm hearing the Pied Piper of Hamelin. The Pied Piper of Hamelin. How weird. Okay. Now, I think the story goes, and that's come out of nowhere, I think the story goes, someone organised for a Pied Piper to play a particular tune on his whistle, which would attract a lot of rats. And then what he did was dance out of Hamelin, playing the tune, and all the rats followed. Basically, all the rats left the town and ended up in the river. So So the Pied Piper attracted all these rats that he wanted to get rid of from people's houses, but then played a tune as if he was leading the rats somewhere lovely, only for them to find that he was leading them to their death. He was leading them into the river. So Cancer, I don't know what that's got to do with the reading. I'm hoping it's going to be ending in a positive way, because we do have you recognizing that whatever you are trying to create here is going to be pulled apart. This is what you don't know. Whatever you're trying to create is going to be dissected, dismantled by various people here. You're not going to be able to do this in basic terms. So let's have a look at your energy. Again, you're trying to create something out of nothing. Yes, you have a plan. You have a plan. Okay. You have a plan. You have been thinking about this for a while, looking at options. 7 of Cups. How am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? Knight of Swords. You've cut through the illusion. You've cut through the illusion, Cancer. And you've recognized that someone is not happy. So if this is you not wanting to create a blanket of protection for yourself, you could be trying to do that for someone else. But you're recognizing, Cancer, they're not happy. You're recognizing it's not enough. It's not good enough. The Hierophant, Taurian energy. But you've tried to be wise in this, Cancer. You've tried to work with what you have, but without having to completely take apart your 10 of Pentacles. Eight of Swords. Why do I feel, Cancer, you're doing this? Because you want to break free. You might have felt caged in a situation, wanting to break free. But you couldn't do it with someone angry about feeling left out in the cold. You thought, okay, before I do this, before I break free, I have to make sure that someone is given protection, someone is given a little bit so they feel more secure, and then I can move forward and do what I want to do. And it might have something, Cancer, to do with a lover whom you've fallen for. 2 of Cups. So Cancer, with the energy of the 7 of Swords in the past, somebody might have deceived you, left you with very little. So you clung on to what you had left. Yes, you clung on to what you had left, which might have been your house. Okay. A property. Tell us more about the past. Okay, you might have taken a leap of faith and a risk and got yourself wrapped up in a situation where someone sort of came out of nowhere and snatched what you had and then just disappeared under the earth again, right? Symbolically. Or it could have been, that's what actually happened. Tell us about the past. Tell us about the past. Whew, okay. You could have taken a risk with a Scorpio or an Aries who stripped you bare. I'm looking at this image. Whatever happened here, someone stripped you bare. Somebody took everything they could from you. And you had to recover. But why do I feel, Cancer, you might even have kept this quiet. You might even have kept this to yourself. After that time, you recognized that you were in a rather toxic situation. You recognize that Capricorn energy, but you put on a brave face. You acted as if everything's fine. You could have hidden what had actually happened with the Six of Wands, but you were very angry. You might have felt taken advantage of here in the past. You might have felt taken advantage of. And you might have done some research on the person that stripped you bare, the person that took everything they could. You might have done some research. Oh my gosh. You might have realized that they'd faced jail time. You might have realized that they were a con artist, because you might have tried to reach out to this person to say, I'm sorry, but can you return whatever you took? Or can you explain why you did this? You took what you could and then you left. You might have got a very defensive reaction. You might have got a very defensive reaction. Okay, Knight of Wands. Could have been a fire sign, I don't know, guys. Aries, Leo, Sag. Or this person might have said, well, Cancer, you lit the flame that started the fire and I just needed to get out of there. Something like that. And so you had to let this drop. But whoever this person was, whatever the situation was, they took a lot from you. And I think you might have tried to hide that, because this person, Cancer, may even have been a lover. And you thought, well, you know, I can't tell my wife that this person took all this money, because then I'm going to have to explain that they were my lover. I mean, it could have been very complicated. So Cancer, I think you are trying to extract yourself from a situation. It could even be you are wanting to leave your partner, but you're trying to be strategic, because there might be various people around you who are watching you, or there may be various people around you, Cancer, who are wanting the piece of the pie, family money. So with the Five of Wands, you are sat in internal conflict, trying to figure out what to do here. Ace of Wands, yes. Whilst worrying, Cancer, that whoever was strategic in the past is going to release a secret that could have related to an affair. So you're worried somebody may call you out, or somebody may release your secret. High Priestess, secret. And so up until now, Cancer, you've turned your back on this person. Could even have been someone in the family. Not talked to this person, not communicated very much, whilst trying to manifest your way out of something a bit complicated. Virgo, Scorpio, Gemini energy. What are you thinking about? Yes, I can't talk to this person. I don't want to talk to this person because I think they figured out my secret. I need to keep my distance until I figured out what I can do. And that plan, Cancer, somehow related to you piecing things together that you managed to extract from the periphery of the Ten of Pentacles, pulling a few bits together to sort of create something that you could give someone who feels left out in the cold. So basically, Cancer, they're not going to give you a tough time, or they are not going to cause you problems in the future. You're basically wanting to make sure this person's okay, maybe financially, so you can move forward with your own plan, which could be to be with somebody that you love. In the immediate future, we have the Queen of Pentacles. Now, Cancer, you're coming through as the King of Cups Emperor. So this could be your partner, okay? You may be thinking about your partner, Queen of Pentacles. Whoever is in the environment, and this could be your partner, They are thinking about the fact that you may be hiding something. You may be trying to organise something behind the scenes. You are sitting on the hole. You're sitting on the Ten of Pentacles, but you're trying to work out what you can do with the pips from this one apple. What can I do with all the little bits around the outside of the Ten of Pentacles? And they may be feeling as if you apologise to them, they never found out what really happened. You kept a lot to yourself. They may also feel that something fishy is going on here. This woman's looking at this fish in a teacup, but she can't put a finger on what that might be. She's still in the dark. So, Archangel Michael, when do we have the Queen of Pentacles and the Moon for my Cancerians? Thank you, Michael. The 1st to the 8th of September. Okay, guys, next month. 11th of October. 22nd to the 24th of November. I'm hearing February the 28th. February the 28th. Wow, 2027. Alrighty. So this is going to take a few months, this plan. Cancer, let's have a look at the Queen of Pentacles. You're thinking about the Queen of Pentacles. You're coming through as the King of Cups Emperor. So what are you thinking about when you think of the Queen of Pentacles? She wants to work on this. She wants to work on this. She wants to work on this connection. She wants to work on this connection. She wants to try and hang on to the Tower. She wants to hang on to this stability. This could be somebody wanting to hang on to you, wanting to hang on to a marriage, wanting to hang on to the Ten of Pentacles as you do. Because she's had a shock. She's had a shock. And she has been having sleepless nights, feeling worried about this. She's been having sleepless nights, feeling worried. Queen of Swords. She's trying to figure out what's going on. So Cancer, you are a masculine, but you seem to be thinking primarily about the Queen of Pentacles, who's gone through a shock, trying to hang on to the Tower, trying to hang on maybe to the Ten of Pentacles. She is also trying to find out information. She's trying to find out information, either about somebody in another area of the world, or she's trying to figure out, Cancer, whether you are actually quietly planning on ending the relationship with her. How does she see herself? Wow. She sees that she might have been in a lovely, stable, almost overindulgent type situation for a long time. Could have been a stay-at-home wife, could have been someone who never had to work, could have been someone who has had a relatively cushy life within a very stable marriage, nice house, no trouble with paying bills. She knows she's had it good, Cancer, and she doesn't want to lose that sense of stability. But she may know, Cancer, that you're planning something behind the scenes and she's getting a little bit nervous. What are you thinking? Page of Wands. Yeah. What you're thinking about, Cancer, is what am I going to do with the Queen of Pentacles? You're keeping an eye on her while she is keeping an eye on you. There may be a child in the mix or children. And you have the key, Cancer. Basically, whoever you're connected to, extended family, your partner, you have the key. It could be simply you hold the purse strings in the family. I think, Cancer, what you are trying to do is use that key to unlock the cage that you have been feeling as if you've been trapped in. Okay, I think this is what you're trying to do. You are trying to find a way of surreptitiously using that key to unlock the cage you've been trapped in because you don't feel you can get out. So whilst you're trying to find a way out of the situation, Cancer, your Queen of Pentacles is trying to keep you locked in. There may be kids in the mix. There may also be somebody who might have wanted to cause you problems in the past. Could have been a lover, could have been someone who took your money. Okay, and you didn't want to say anything about that because you would have had to have admitted that you had a lover, you were unfaithful, so you might have kept that quiet. But there may be someone new, Cancer, that you have fallen for, that you want to be with, Lovers, Two of Cups. And you're trying to find a way out of what might be a situation where you felt a bit stuck, a bit hemmed in. Hence, trying to create something from the outskirts of the Ten of Pentacles to give to someone who you feel might cause you problems if you just walk away. Could be someone who is struggling financially, could be a family member. But this is someone, Cancer, who's quite intuitive. She may have figured out your secret already. You may be feeling, well, if I give her enough, she's not going to cause me problems. She's going to keep her mouth shut. So let's do that. And then hopefully, if I've managed to pour oil on the water, I can begin to think about my plans moving forward. So you need to sort out this High Priestess first of all, Cancer, to keep her quiet in the nicest sense. Give her what she needs. Give her the trimmings around the Ten of Pentacles. And then hopefully, Cancer, you can find a way out of the situation you're in, but the next bump in the road would be the Queen of Pentacles, could be your partner. So even though you were taken from in the past, you might have recouped, or you might have had to accept a loss, but you still have the Ten of Pentacles. Now, it could be, Cancer, someone took a very large amount of money in terms of investment from you. Could even have been a dodgy business partner. Okay, if this wasn't a lover, you might not have wanted to admit that to your partner. Now, the Ten of Pentacles could be a property worth a lot of money. So you're somehow still sitting on the Ten of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles doesn't want to move. The Queen of Pentacles is sitting in the Nine of Cups. As far as she's concerned, things are good. But she does have a strange feeling, Cancer, that you're trying to arrange something behind the scenes. And she feels as if you might not have told her everything about a situation that you felt uncomfortable talking about. She might have felt something else went on, but you didn't want her to know everything. She's still thinking about that. So Cancer, here's you, Ace of Swords. You want to use that key to open the cage so you can have your freedom. But you're having to do this very carefully. Yes. And in the immediate future, Cancer, you're holding back, or you may be talking to someone about your health. So guys, in the immediate future, I believe is your Queen of Pentacles. She feels, Cancer, something's going on with you. She feels, Cancer, as if you've got your back turned to her. You're not talking about your future plans. You're not being particularly loving and caring with her. She's beginning to feel slightly nervous. What's on her mind? What's on the mind of the Queen of Pentacles? Yeah. Cancer, she may be wondering whether or not you're actually planning on walking away. She may be wondering whether or not your plan is to leave her. But what she's thinking about is you haven't said anything at the moment. There's been no talk about finances or leaving, so she is stock still. What she's thinking about is, well, Cancer hasn't said anything, so until Cancer does, I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that I'm going to be able to work on the relationship. Everything's going to be good. She's keeping her fingers crossed, Cancer, but she has a horrible feeling that you may be trying to find a way of detaching. Three of Pentacles. She wants to patch up the marriage. She wants to work in partnership with you to try and do this, to keep the Ten of Pentacles whole. Whilst Cancer, you've been taking a few bits and pieces from the outside of the Ten of Pentacles, so maybe it wouldn't be noticed, to keep a High Priestess quiet. So she wouldn't kick up a fuss about feeling left out in the cold, or she wouldn't kick up a fuss about financial issues. Tell us more about the Queen of Pentacles, what she's thinking about. Yeah. Cancer, your Queen of Pentacles may believe that you are very, very slowly trying to exit the situation. Leave her, right? So while she's desperately trying to hang on to you, working on the relationship, spending time with you, keeping her fingers crossed that that's not going to happen, underneath, Cancer, she feels as if any minute now you would sit her down and say, okay, sorry, but this is done. She's sort of waiting for it. The Chariot is your energy of Cancer, but this is a snail, right? Wow, okay, and she is looking at past mistakes. It could be, this is her recognizing she sat in the Nine of Cups for too long. She wasn't supportive of you, or she only thought about what she wanted in the relationship. It could be a little bit of guilt, remorse, regret, but everyone's been through that, you know. Yeah, she may feel as if while she was feathering her own nest for her, she disregarded you, ignored you, didn't spend time with you. She wasn't as loving or caring as she could have been. Because she's looking in regret at the energy of the Empress, which is her, because you're the Emperor, Cancer. She's regretting the fact that she might not have been as supportive and loving as she might have been. She wasn't. She's looking at past mistakes. And she may be wondering, Cancer, whether or not it's too late to patch things up. Is it too late to patch up things with Cancer? Yeah, because she knows she sabotaged this. Wow, she knows she sabotaged the relationship. So Cancer, whilst you might have gone through a tricky situation where somebody might have run off with your money, whoever it was, you have a High Priestess who feels as if a lot of secrets were hidden in a situation, maybe a family situation. You are trying to help her financially because you're worried that if you don't, she's going to kick up a fuss, because she may already have figured out your secret, Cancer, and you don't want her to let the cat out of the bag. At the same time, Cancer, you are not taking any impulsive action. You are treading very gently around people here. You're in your head trying to come up with a plan. Can I pull some elements together to create something to keep the High Priestess happy? Because then I need to concentrate on working on the situation with my Queen of Pentacles, which could be, Cancer, to find a way out of the relationship whilst hanging on to the money. But your Queen of Pentacles is wanting to hang on to the money too. And so she's trying to hang on to you, and she's trying to be super nice because she may feel that in the past she sabotaged the relationship with you. How does this Queen of Pentacles see you, my Cancerian masculines? Okay, the Hermit. You could have Virgo in your chart, or you could be thinking about a Virgo Queen. But with the energy of the Hermit, the way they see you is separating yourself from your emotion. This is your emotion. Separating yourself from your emotion. You're hoping that one of these ships are going to come in. You may be fishing for information here. How am I going to do this? And what you're looking at is these two birds. If I find out enough information, if I can detach my emotion, I could find a way out of this because I want to fly free, okay? So Cancer, this is a complicated situation. You're trying to extract yourself from a high priestess who's very intuitive, who might be facing financial issues and coming with their hand out. You may also be facing issues to do with someone who scammed you out of money in the past. This could have been someone who you went into business partnership with who wasn't honest. So you might have quietly lost quite a lot of money, but you're still sitting on something worth a lot, could be a property, and your Queen of Pentacles, your partner, is determined to hang on to you because she wants to hang on to the Ten of Pentacles. There's a sense of guilt. I should have been a bit more loving and affectionate with Cancer in the past, and I wasn't. So she's a little bit worried, feeling that any minute now you're actually going to say to her, I'm sorry, I'm leaving. So she's trying to be super nice to patch up the relationship. But Cancer, you still feel as if you want to get out of this cage. You may feel that everyone around you has wanted money, stability from you. The person who was not honest with you in the past might have taken money from you in the past. The High Priestess who's coming to you with their hand out. The Queen of Pentacles who's wanting to lock in the Ten of Pentacles by staying married to you. And Cancer, all you want to do is get out. So this is a challenge for you. You don't want to cause any chaos or drama for people around you. You are wanting a clean break with no drama. So this is why you've had to be very careful in how you handle this. You're hoping to maintain your reputation as the Emperor, Cancer, when everything's said and done. You're hoping your reputation wouldn't be damaged, okay? But the final card is the Ten of Swords. And what I'm getting here is everybody pulling this patchwork quilt apart. Everybody pulling apart a plan, Cancer, that you might be creating to break free. This could simply be a secret coming out. Or you may feel, Cancer, that someone's going to release the secret that they might have found out about you, and if that happens, everything is going to disintegrate. You may be worried about gossip, Cancer. All right. Archangel Michael, tell us about the Ten of Swords. Oh, gosh. Yeah. Cancer, we have gossip. Six of Pentacles. This High Priestess may have a conversation with the Queen of Pentacles about unequal give and take. And you may feel this is the beginning of the end. You may feel, oh my goodness, if that happens, right? Judgment. Or there could be a Sagittarian in the mix who is going to tell someone what's really going on. The Sag could be the High Priestess. Saggies are very intuitive. And you may feel, Cancer, you're there having to face Judgment Day. You may feel judged. And this is you feeling wounded. This is you feeling judged and wounded. And you may feel, Cancer, that having nearly been able to get out of this cage using this key, you're back in the undergrowth being trapped by all these thorns and weeds, and you really can't get out. You may feel heartbroken. You may be in love with someone here, but we have a pierced red rose. You may feel as if you can't be with the person you want to be with. Oh, Cancer. And you may feel, having seen everybody else's perspective, that you're going to have to just stay and sacrifice. You're just going to have to stay and suck it up. You're going to have to stay and just deal with being kept trapped in a situation you're unhappy in. Oh, Cancer. Two of Wands. This may be you wandering outside the house, looking up at the moon sometimes, thinking about the world. I just want this ended. I want this over. You might be wondering, Cancer, why you had to go through all these lessons, all this difficulty in your life. Why wasn't my life easier, right? So what are you going to do, Cancer? This is you realizing you may not be able to get out of this. You may come up with a plan to move into a new cycle. There is going to be a fortunate turn of events. There is going to be a fortunate turn of events. Three of Cups. Now, this could be you creating movement which is going to enable reconciliation. And a sense of celebration. And it may have something to do with the Ten of Pentacles. Could be a property worth a lot of money. So Cancer, if you had been trying to find a way out of the situation whilst remaining sat on the Ten of Pentacles, a property worth a lot, you may be talking to your Queen of Pentacles and potentially the High Priestess and maybe a lover, all independently, to say for everyone to be happy and to feel secure, I think we've got to sell the house. I think we've got to move. There's something here, Cancer, relating to a lot of money wrapped up in a house. And you may feel that if you ask your Queen of Pentacles to accept that you might have to downsize, you might have to sell the house, you feel everyone's going to be happy. Now, that might be because you want to move location. It could be strategic. It might be because you want to release money. It might be because in doing so, you may put a new house in somebody else's name. Whatever this is, you feel that the only way you can extract yourself from a challenging situation is with the value of the house. It's something to do with a house, Four of Wands. It may be, Cancer, this would be the one thing that would ironically free you. I mean, this could be you saying to your partner, okay, we are going to divorce, but I don't want you to feel stressed about money. So I think we should sell the house. I'm going to give you half plus a lump sum of money, so you're going to be absolutely fine. You may also be giving a little bit of money to somebody else. Could be the High Priestess. And the rest of it, Cancer, you may use for a brand new life for yourself. So you may not be able to gain your freedom with the Ten of Pentacles, but you may be able to gain your freedom and happiness and leave behind a situation that has been difficult whilst knowing, Cancer, that you have done the right thing. King of Pentacles is the final card. Yeah. The key, Cancer, is you having the courage to release yourself from clutching hold of the Ten of Pentacles. It's the Ten of Pentacles that have kept you stuck. Whatever that is. I think it's a property, okay? Once you release your grip on the Ten of Pentacles and allow people to dissect the Ten of Pentacles so that everything is balanced, you can then make the judgment call to be with a person that you love. That is what we're looking at. Okay? So, Cancer, I hope that reading's helped you, but let's see what the universe has to say. Here we go, guys. Archangel Michael, what does the universe want to say to my lovely Cancerians to close out this reading? Everything is here. Okay, yeah, Cancer. Everything is here. Embrace the spiritual belief that everything already exists in the here and now. Live in the present moment and be grateful for what you have. Embrace a spiritual belief that everything already exists in the here and now. So Cancer, if you truly believe that you've already gained your freedom, you've already been able to figure out how to get out of this, it will actually happen. Thoughts turn into things. So think to yourself, I will be able to do this. Of course I'll be able to do this. But what you may not be realizing you're going to have to do is to somehow surrender part of the Ten of Pentacles. If you agree to do that, you're going to move forward with the person that you love. Okay? All right, guys. So Cancer, I hope this has helped to take care of you. And of course, I'm sending love and light your way and many blessings. Bye, Cancer.